Moving on to item 6Q, out-of-state travel requests. Jeremy, you asked for this to be pulled off. I believe Kim did as well, so we'll let multiple board members discuss. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Thank you. So conscious discipline is something that is debatable if it works. There are good things about it. There are things that certainly there's a lot of disagreement in the public. On the other hand, we have things around Litchfield Elementary that are mandatory. We have to improve academics, math, things like that. And for goodness sakes, we got to figure out a way to get bus drivers if we can't get kids to school. So I'm sure, you know, whatever. This should not be spending another dime on conscious discipline right now. We do not have the luxury to do that here at Litchfield Elementary School that has urgent needs. The board's even said they're urgent about the academics, math. So here's what I propose. My wife and I will donate all the money needed to give Uber rides to whoever wants to go over to, say, some school like Alhambra that has extremely high achievement, even though they have 64% poverty students and only 11% of the kids are white and whatever else. But for some reason, they're 20, 30 points ahead of us. So we can go over there and I'll pay for the Uber rides for that. And let's spend the $10,446.50 on bus drivers or on something else.
Thank you, Jeremy. Kim?
I just wanted to get a better understanding of who, so I know there's conscious discipline is our social emotional learning. I totally get that. And I know there's different classes and levels and, you know, people who are, you know, black belts and brown belts or whatever their terminology is for that. But I just don't know that I've ever seen how many of the folks in our district are at each of those levels and what we want that to be, what our goal is for that. I know Megan Megan DePlane has done a lot of training, and I just don't know if this particular training is more like a train the trainer and they're going to come back and then, you know, teach folks new things, because I thought that we had a lot of our staff go to a week-long conscious discipline training this summer. And so I am kind of getting to the point where I am like, how much is too much? Is there such thing as too much? I don't know. So I would like to be enlightened with what the district's goal and philosophy is behind that.
Sure. So originally, many moons ago, when the board asked what our path was to maintain and promote the training in our district, one of the things is that it's kind of a step-by-step approach. And number one, it was to train our leaders first to allow them to become the experts to lead their staff. And the way we have done that over the years is that they go to CD1, and then they are helpers at CD1 because they get directly taught by the master instructor from conscious discipline. And then from there, they are invited. It's an application process, but when the master instructor sees some of our leaders or some of the people that are achieving or really not achieving, but really focusing on their skills, they can submit an application to go to CD2, which is an advanced institute. And that is kind of that last training. And it is directly with Dr. Bailey, and there is 50 people there, and they get individualized training and support to grow their leadership skills. And we pay for that out of Title IV. Last year, Luke Janke, Melissa McComb, and Jennifer Benjamin went. And they came back then and led our kickoff this year with all of our administrators and kind of walk them through their journey to help them become that next level of leader on their campus or in their departments. So that is our step-by-step process. It's CD1, it's CD1 helper, and then it's CD2. And all of our training at the district level comes out of Title IV annually.
So what is the difference between, for example, so was the training this summer CD1?
Yes.
Okay. And that happened here. And how many of our people went to that?
Oh, I'm going to say 85, I think.
Okay.
Around. And we had 10 helpers.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just want to clarify. In the notes that we were given, it says that there was 34 staff members. Is
That's paid for out of title, and then
Okay.
schools can choose to use their own money to send their.
for other employees? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, keep going, Kim. I just wanted to make sure I was following.
No, I mean, that provides a lot of clarity to me and in our notes that we have here as well, it says that we basically have budgeted for 3 folks to go to this particular training. So that's been included in the Title IV funding. I know that we have implemented this year a program to track our PD, and we as a board still haven't seen anything on that. So I think it's all still kind of theoretical in a way, because we don't see the utilization factor of those things. So I think that might help for me personally I am all for PD, and I know that our teachers need that. I know that our teachers have excellent skills, but we still need to help them in their skills, not only particularly in math or something that's very practical, but also in the soft skills, if you will, like conscious discipline. So I'm 100% supportive of that. I just am trying to put together all the pieces of that puzzle and how that fits into the funding and our different staff members and the layers behind that. So I appreciate the information that you gave tonight, and I look forward to getting some information on our PD programs in general.
I will add to the conversation that I think it's, this board and district are highly supportive of professional development in general. I have been supportive of social emotional learning from the beginning. I mean, I think I'm probably one of the lucky ones that remember, get to see the very first presentation from you and kind of seeing this all the way through. So I am a proponent of this and think professional development is a good way for our staff to grow both personally and professionally. But I will say that I am concerned about spending this amount of money for such a few people to fly out of state and to do something that we have so many people here that have already been trained to do. And that's concerning to me, because I want to make sure that the teachers, the people in the classrooms every day that are the ones that are implementing this are the ones that are receiving the benefit of this. And so when I look at the money that we're spending on a yearly basis, and this isn't even all of it, this is just the Title IV funds, that I have some pause with that based on the amount of money that it costs for so few people to partake in that, in the specific training out of state. Melissa, do you have any comments or questions?
I agree with the fact that we need to have professional development. It's very important to sharpen the saw. I mean, that's just an important thing to do. But I also have concerns about this large amount of money we're spending on 3 people. We spend a significant amount of money on conscious discipline, and we really have not been given any information that shows, data-driven information for us, that this is really improving our schools the way we need to see for the amount of money we're spending. So that's really my comments, in that we really need to start seeing some data that shows that this is effective for us to keep spending this amount of money.
Well, I think when you look at our employee engagement surveys and student surveys, to me, that is a component of that. For the children, directly talks about how they feel in their workplace, their satisfaction, do they feel safe, all of those components. And that's a major piece of what conscious discipline is doing. is creating those pieces. The other part that we analyze, of course, is also looking at data in relation to discipline. Of course, like last year was a little wonky, but we'll be getting back on track and analyzing that data this year. We have seen a drastic decrease in discipline issues in the elementary schools since the implementation, and we've seen a drastic change in discipline violations, types of violations in the middle schools compared to what it was when I even stepped in as superintendent. That has changed drastically. So I think we have seen a lot of it. I think we probably just need to keep making sure that we circle back when we're showing the data that we're showing you of how and what components contribute to that data.
Well, there's two things I'm going to follow up with that. One, there's a difference between less referrals and actual less discipline problems in school, because feedback I've gotten is that people can't do referrals. And I know I've heard from Megan, like, that's not true. Discipline's discipline's still there. I understand that, but I don't know that always trickles down to staff members. So that's one thing about that. Just because we have less referrals does not necessarily mean we're having less discipline issues. And also, I want to know when we can get some real honest feedback from our staff about what they feel about conscious discipline as a program. Because they're the ones that are in the classrooms having to implement it. And I get very different opinions from a lot of different staff members that don't always jive with what I'm hearing from administration. So I would think that we need to definitely look into that some more.
I agree with that. But also just putting a perspective on this, we're not talking about voting down conscious discipline, and whatever has worked is good and it should stay. The question is, as Kim said, enough is enough. I mean, how many more, spending money and going out and having training? And we certainly have a lot of people that have, we've spent money and they've gone and done it, and now they have the skills to pass it on to other people in the district.
And to clarify, you're actually just approving these people to go and travel out of state. Am I correct, Amy? Is it to approve people to be able to travel?
And the cost.
Yeah.
The
The
estimated cost.
cost was approved in the Title IV grant that was submitted.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? I will entertain a motion. Okay. I move to deny the out-of-state travel requests as presented.
Do you move to deny?
Mm-hmm.
I see. I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.